What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. For those who are new here, hello and welcome, and for all of my returning subscribers, hey. So before I actually get into my seed starting for this week, I wanted to come on camera and just show you guys all of the varieties that I plan to start this week, which is 12 weeks out from my last frost date. I am in Central Ohio, Zone 6A. For those who are new here and don't know, and y'all ain't been around to know what's going on, that's what's going on. So some of these items will be going out a little bit before the last frost, which is why I'm starting some of these things. Basically, I'm getting a little bit of a head start because I know that a lot of these items are frost hardy enough to go out and withstand a little bit of a frost. Obviously, I will put any extra protection in place in the case that I feel like it's gonna wipe my stuff out. Shout out to the daggone frost fabric and all of those sort of things. But I just want to share with you guys everything that I'm starting before I actually get my hands dirty and all of that. So let's go on ahead and start with, where do we want to begin? Let's just start off the top. So I have a lot of varieties that I will be trying from Survival Garden Seed. Last year, they sent me out a couple of their seed bolts, seed kits. And so I just chose a lot of those things that I wanted to try out. So far, so good from Survival Garden Seeds as far as germination is concerned. But let's talk about what I'm growing. First things first. Eggplant. Eggplant is something that I did really well with last year, and I want to get into varieties that are like the larger sizes. So I was pleased to see that they sent me the Black Beauty and then also Snowy, which I believe is a smaller, it says that it reaches up to 8 inches. So that's not too bad, but yeah. So Snowy and Black Beauty. As far as eggplants are concerned, you definitely want to get those going really, really soon because they like it when it's hot. And if you're in a zone like mine where my growing days, if you don't have long growing days in your zone, then you want to get started really early on things like eggplants, peppers, etc. So anyways, so those are the like summer things that I will be beginning. And then a lot of these are like cold hardy. So again, I will be putting these things out before the last frost. So first things first, I have the Garden Blend Kale. I didn't really choose to do like individual types. I'm going to do this 2 different ways. I'm going to do like individual cells, and then I'm also going to do like a baby green style mix where I'll just kind of sow them really, really thickly. So I have those. I have 2 kinds of Swiss chard. I have Ford Hook, and then I have Rainbow Swiss chard, and then we have some Tatsoi. This is the Black Knight variety. And then as far as cabbages are concerned, I have the Early Round Dutch. And then I also have the Red Acre cabbage, which are like smaller, compact heads of cabbage. They grow up to like 7 inches, so that's not very big at all. So I'm hoping to get some good luck with those. I've never grown a red cabbage to full maturity. I've grown green cabbage to full maturity, but the red cabbage, not so much. Those typically take a little bit longer, which is also why I'm starting these really, really early, because technically on the back of the packet it says that you want to start these 6 to 8 weeks. Again, we are at 12 weeks to the last frost, so yeah, I'm starting these now. Next up are my broccolis. I have some green sprouting calabrese. I think that's how you say that. Broccolis I've kind of had good luck at. Not really. I've never grown like a really nice big head of broccoli, not cabbage. But I'm hoping this will be my year. And then I also have the Watham's 29. And then Brussels sprouts is something that I have never tried to grow before. So I'm really curious to see how this goes. Again, this is one that says that you want to start a little bit closer to that last frost date. On the packet, it says 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost, but these are also a little bit cold hardy as well. And so I am going to get these started early, because then too in Ohio we have extreme weather. So 1 minute it'll be like borderline winter, and then boom, we get into summer. So I don't want to experience any like early bolting or anything like that. So I'm getting an early start on these. All right, let's go into some of the other varieties that I will be growing. I wanted to do just like the green broadleaf mustard greens. And these, I believe, are spilling all over the place, child. Then I have a couple of different types of kohlrabi. I have purple kohlrabi here. And then I also have the early white Vienna. We have a few more cabbages and just one broccoli. So also, as far as mustards, I am going to be trying out the mustard spinach. This is the tender green. Never grown this before. I'm excited to see how these taste. They say that it's a perfect blend between like a mustard and a spinach, so we'll see how that goes. And then some more bok choy. I have the baby pak choy. This is the green fortune. I started some of these in the fall. They didn't make like full maturity, but they were delicious, so I can vouch for that. And then I have, like I said, a few more cabbages. So I have the Copenhagen market cabbage here. I have a Savoy cabbage. And I have two different type of Napas. I don't know why I pulled two, but I have just like, this one just says Napa cabbage. And then this one says the 1 kilo slow bolt. This is by Botanical Interest. And this is a 55-day variety. So I'm thinking I should have some good luck here. I don't know. Things have been like kind of normal as far as weather is concerned. I say that and I instantly regret it. I don't think that's the truth, honestly. We'll see how the weather goes, but I'm hoping that at least this one will allow me to get a couple of heads of Napa cabbage. That way I can get my own kimchi. And then we also have the mermaid's tail. I started some of these last year. I just didn't do really well with my seed starting ventures last year, especially as far as brassicas are concerned. These got a really slow start, and then like I was dealing with slugs, and I just never got like a full head. So I'm hoping that I can grow a full head of these, because these are, look how beautiful, gorgeous. And then just one more broccoli, which is the purple broccoli. This is from M.I. Gardner. I started some of these in the fall, and they literally just started to bud, and then boom, the frost wiped them out. So I'm hoping that I start them early enough that I will actually see a full head of broccoli. So, oh, and I almost forgot. I'm also going to be starting a few herbs, but I think I'm going to do a separate video for that, because I want to share all the different herbs that I plan to start in my garden this year, because yeah, I just wanted more herbs. I don't feel like I had enough. So we'll talk about the herbs in a separate video, but for now, let's go on ahead and get into, like, let's get our hands in the dirt, shall we? Well, hello. Oh, how you doing there? Oh, is that a rosemary sprout? Is that it? Wow. You guys, the onions looking quite sad. The leeks are giving what needs to be gave. All right, so dirty work aside, got the soil in, moistened, labeled everything. I have everything laid out in order so I can just pick up and sow. And as we do that, let's chat. So what are some of your garden goals this year? I think for me, it's been trying to be realistic with the amount of seedlings that I need. Last year, I completely like underestimated everything. I feel like I need a little bit more oil in some of these babies. I underestimated a lot. And so this year, I want to oversow just about everything, because in the case that something dies away, like I won't be missing anything. Like I'm not losing out on opportunities to have more food, especially not this year. This year is a year of abundance. We gonna speak that. We not gonna say that we are lacking anywhere. Just because in some places that we rely on our food, we lacking. Those who choose to grow, we not lacking. We only talking abundance, baby. So this year I am definitely going to be pushing my limits as far as the amount of seedlings, the different varieties, etc., that I will be growing, just because last year, not only did I feel like I just kind of underestimated everything, I just feel like I ended up with a lot of blank space. So I'm just going to, I don't know why I grabbed so many damn seeds. I'm going to just plan to keep growing. So this is my first succession of certain things here. So like the tatsoi, this is going to be my first succession of it. And then also for everything else in here will pretty much be like a one-time growing thing, because most of these things take a little bit of time. But I wanted to get some tatsoi started. I already talked about all of the varieties that I'm starting today. What I did decide that I'm going to do though, instead of trying to fill everything out in here, I'm going to start peat pots of like my baby pak choi instead of starting them in here. Since these guys are going out first, I want to give them a head start indoors, and then in 2 or 3 weeks, I'll start another round probably in the peat pots, because I'll be able to just, you know, plop it down in there. But I want these to be pretty established before I put them outside, obviously. So I'm going to do that with the bok choy as well as the kohlrabi, because I actually have some out in the garden right now. But so yeah, overgrowing everything. Things like Swiss chard though, like I find that these babies last so dang long. It is astonishing. Like you can put some of these out like in early spring, and you will continue to be able to harvest this all the way up through to the fall. So Swiss chard is definitely something to like add into the garden as like just extra filler, like just plopping these in between other plants is what I plan to do. I might put a couple in my green stalk as well, because I definitely want to stock my green stalk all the way up. Like last year was pretty sad. I did not get a lot of success or a lot of food out of my green stalks last year. So this year, that's why it's going to be so important for me to like just keep that harvest coming by always having some successions of things lined up. And then things like mustards. Mustards, they kind of, I don't know. I don't see a lot of people growing mustards. I like mustard greens. Like when I do like my green mix, like braised greens or whatever, I like them a lot. But it's just another like really nutritional food. And then these guys, I'm starting for the first time ever, these spinach mustards. I'm curious to see the flavor, if they're as bitter as like your typical mustard. So yeah, it's all about variety this year. It's all about just like making sure I always have something backed up, or like something that I can interplant in between like some of my like longer maturity dated plants, or vegetables, I should say. So this year I'm sowing everything that I'm growing here in these 4 tray cells, or 4 cell trays. And I'm putting 2 seeds per cell. That way I'm like kind of maximizing my space here without having to like up pot them. That's kind of the goal. I really don't want to have to up pot anything, especially not these things, because they can all go out really early in the spring. So I'm hoping that I can possibly just be able to split these in half, like each cell in half, as I do begin to, or once I'm able to sow them out. So that's really the goal with using these trays. I picked these up on Amazon last fall, and I really prefer this size over using like, what is it, like 72 cells or whatever, because it really doesn't offer just a whole lot of like space, and you end up having to like up pot them. And even though I feel like I'm saving space, in the long run, I'm really not. So like, I think that these are a perfect size if I want to try to maximize my space a little bit. I think it worked out well for me last year in the fall. So I'm putting 2 seeds per cell in hopes that both germinate and like grow to be a decent enough size. That way I can just like pop them in half and like sow them in the early spring. For the broccolis though, I'm thinking I'll probably put 3. I don't know how I want to do this yet. So we'll just see. Maybe I'll put 2 in each hole or each cell as well. Which one is this? This is the purple. I kind of mix things up. So 2 in each cell still. These are older seeds, so maybe I'll pop a couple of extra seeds in there just in case. But yeah, I'm thinking that's how I'm gonna do all of these brassicas. That way I'm maximizing my space. You know what I mean? And the Brussels sprouts, I'm just gonna go 1 per cell because I really don't want to waste just a lot of seed, because I've never grown Brussels sprouts before. So I have 2 cells dedicated to these guys. So I'll just, you know, I'll end up trimming 1 back or thinning it back to, you know, see what happens. So I almost forgot that I need to put my eggplant on a warmer or heat mat. So I put them in their own little reservoir here, which will like bottle water them. And I am going to sow some kohlrabi. I just refilled, or I added some more cells in here. So kohlrabi and some pak choi. I'm just going to start with the purple kohlrabi right now, because like I said, I do have kohlrabi already out there, and maybe in a couple of weeks I'll go on ahead and start some more of the white kohlrabi. So let's go on ahead and do that. I don't know why that was difficult, but let's get some of these going. Last year, these were the very first things that I put out in my garden, the kohlrabi. And I actually picked them up from a local garden center, like as seedlings. So I'm excited to see if I can be successful in starting my own. I'll probably need a little bit more soil in these, but should be all right. And yeah, no, it'll be all right. Okay, and then the pak choi is just the green fortune pak choi. I don't know why I'm repeating all the varieties. We know what we're growing here. We already talked about it. I kind of thought that the layout of this video was going to be a little different. I thought that I wasn't going to be so chatty. I thought I was going to get down here and get down to business, but life with a 2-year-old, you know, things change. So, you know, I just I'm going with the flow right now, you guys. All right, yay. I will cover this up with some plastic eventually, but these guys I'm leaving wide open because, you know, they'll be all right. You guys, I feel so accomplished. I am so excited. I mean, we got green popping off down here already with the onions. And then we got all of our brassicas and eggplants going. Y'all, I'm so excited. Springtime will be here before we know it. Ah! So happy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me start my brassica seeds for the 2023 gardening season for early spring. Please make sure that you stay tuned to my channel by subscribing, going ahead and hit the like button. Let me know what seeds you're starting down in the comment section below. I would love to hear. I wish you all health, wealth, and prosperity. And until the next time, peace.